What's going on, everybody? I want to talk about my Knicks today a little bit. Just to mention something, I found a video of Tony Kornheiser talking about the New York Knicks and their coaching search. And before I get into that, for a few weeks now, since Tom Thibodeau was fired, I was asked so many times already what my opinion on that is. And in the beginning, I was furious, you could say, because I don't think he deserved to be fired. I mean, he got us to the Eastern Conference Finals. So in my opinion, that shouldn't have happened. Of course, we know some players complained about him, and I think that had a lot of an impact on why he got let go. The only thing is, we've heard stories in the media as well that the Knicks are planning to go after Jason Kidd. There was a couple different names mentioned as well. The only problem is every single coach that they were supposedly interested in going after is actually coaching for another team. So they're employed. So they've reached out to a couple teams. They reached out to Houston about Udoka. Supposedly they reached out to Dallas about Jason Kidd. And a couple of other players, but they've got denied access by those teams to talk to those coaches. I mean, those coaches are their employees right now, so why would they even allow it? And Tony Kornheiser makes a great point, and like I said, I told you guys, I've been a Knicks fan for years, since like 1990, but you know, and I love the team. I never switched or whatever, but it does push a vibe from the Knicks on how they handled this, how they let Tom Thibodeau go, how soon and how quickly after the Knicks got eliminated, they let him go. And originally, a lot of people thought that, okay, maybe they did it so fast because they do have a plan. It looks like they have no plan. So they let a really good coach go, and every single coach that they were interested in going after, they can't even talk to. And Tony Kornheiser has a great point. I'm going to play an audio clip from him for you because I want you to listen to it. It's a really good breakdown and shows, as he calls it, yes, a lot of ignorance on the Knicks' part. And it might not be the GM of the Knicks, but I think this is connected a lot to the owner of the Knicks, and that's James Dolan. And that's why a lot of coaches don't want to work in New York. That's why some players don't want to come to New York, because we have this guy as an owner. And it looked like he promised us a couple years ago that he's not going to butt into basketball decisions and all that other stuff. Now it looks like he has, because there were stories about him being present in the exit interviews, especially with players. And him, not the management of the Knicks, but James Dolan, mostly asking the questions. So I don't think for an owner, there's any more of a way to butt into basketball operations and screw things up. As we know, he used to make decisions, a lot of decisions for the Knicks. He hired Isaiah Thomas, all that other stuff. We know what came out of that. He just makes bad basketball decisions. He's got to be away from that. And as soon as, see, the Knicks were okay because they had a stable culture now. They had Tom Thibodeau. He had his faults, but he had his positives. But they were in a good situation, meaning it was a stable situation. It was improvement from year to year and all that. And I think we should have mostly improved the roster, not changed the coach. But as soon as James Dolan got involved and Tom Thibodeau got let go, now we got chaos around the Knicks again. So I'm really getting upset because it right now it looks like the Knicks, instead of moving forward, they're going to move backward again. Even though they have a decent roster, I just don't see now that it looks like, every coach they were going after, they can't talk to, they can't get, so they're going to have to settle for somebody that they really didn't want. And nobody's really going to be happy again. So what's the point of all this crap? Let me play that clip from Tony Kornheiser for you. He was talking to Michael Wilbon, and it's very interesting how he puts it, and I think it's worth hearing. Not everybody heard it, so let me play that audio clip, and you can kind of figure out and think about it what you will.
Tom Thibodeau is starting to look like a difficult man to replace. Mark Stein and Shams, among others, are reporting that the Mavericks have turned down the Knicks' request to talk to Jason Kidd. And Shams reports that the Rockets have done the same with Ime Udoka and the T-Wolves with Chris Finch. Tone, what word would you use to describe the Knicks' search for a new head coach?
I would use the word arrogant. How dare the Knicks be arrogant enough to just think they can swoop in and get a coach who is, employed somewhere else? What do Udoka and Kidd and Finch have in common? They're employed by other teams, playoff teams. They're paid by other owners. So the Knicks feel what? Like we're New York and we're big and we're great, and so you're going to want to work for us, and why do we have to pay attention to rules? I don't think it works that way. This is sort of unbelievable to me, Mike, and as you know, I grew up a Knicks fan. But this is a team that won a championship for the last time 62 years ago. And they think that their name is such a big deal that everyone wants to coach there. Well, not everyone. Jay Wright didn't want to coach there. Mike, I think if they get one of these three guys and one of these three guys wants them, they're going to have to do it by trade. And this, they're not going to swoop in like a pack of birds. And this leads me to the thing I've said for the last 2 days about this story. Okay? Why would you want to go work for Dolan? Why? He just fired a guy who took his team to the conference finals for the first time in like over 20 years. And why would you work for a guy like Leon Rose who just let his former client go down the drain?
By the way, I love it that you made it 62 years, but it's been 52. I'm sure your friend Clyde Frazier, who often watches us, is saying, Tony, you were there. Don't make it 62. 52 is long enough.
It feels like 62.
I'm sure it does.
It's like 62. I wish.
I'm not going to disagree with you on any of that. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to applaud you because your depiction of New York arrogance, I know it's confined to this one thing. That's the way most of us feel about New Yorkers all the damn time. They're so arrogant, they look at the world and say, well, yeah, you just want to be here. Yeah, that's what I think of you people all of my life, and it is more than 60 years. But I was so well done by you. I'd hug you if I was there. I got nothing to add to that because I think you slayed that just now. You killed it. Golf clap for the U.S. Open. Tone, you're right.
Thank you.
And they got to go to Plan B. You know they had a Plan B.
They do.
You know they got to.